it would seem to follow that the odds that we're in base reality is 1 in billions. And actually, I mean, arguably we should hope that that's true, because...
Have you experienced the Mandela Effect? In this video, we will go over a variety of Mandela effects being discussed online. I understand some people may know all the Mandela effects, but they may be new to other viewers. I do my best to research new information and at least entertain people who may already know the ones mentioned. We all have embarrassing moments. Help us not have one by subscribing to the channel. Our first Mandela effect focuses on the porous sponge who lives in a pineapple under the sea. Many people recall SpongeBob SquarePants having shoelaces. When looking for any residue, there is a song performed by the band Ween called Loop-de-Loop, which teaches kids or adults how to tie their shoes.
You make a loop-de-loop and pull, and your shoes are looking cool.
Within this segment, we see SpongeBob wearing shoes with laces. But is this only for the purpose of the song? Or is this residue, which shows his shoes before the change? The second Mandela Effect has us looking at the musical number from the 2004 motion picture, SpongeBob the Movie.
You see the SpongeBob movie near the end? There's a musical scene, the I'm a Goofy Goober song. Many people, including me and a friend I just asked, are remembering the guitar as a star-shaped one or one with a V cut, and the guitar being white. It turns out the guitar doesn't look like that. It is shaped and colored like a peanut. First I saw a Facebook post talking about this, then a friend shared it saying it was white. Thoughts on this?
When looking at the scene from the film, the guitar is more of a peanut shell shape, and unlike other Mandela effects, I only found cosplay showing the guitar of the same shape and design. But not all people recall the same guitar in the scene.
I remember it having double neck, being purple and in V shape. My friend also remembers it in V shape, but being white, and he didn't know about the confusion regarding it. Anyways, there isn't a single image in the internet where SpongeBob is holding said kind of guitar. This doesn't even make sense. I second this purple V-shaped description, and I'm glad someone else remembers. This is the first time I've actually felt the Mandela Effect. Wait, what happened to the double neck?
Do you remember the guitar being different in the SpongeBob SquarePants movie? What do you recall? If I asked you what the name of this character was, what would you say? Many people remember his name being Spike. Is that what you remember? When looking online, I noticed many sellers on Pinterest to have art and other merchandise labeled with the name Spike. And I mean a face-melting amount. Even when I searched Gremlin Spike, it was registered in Google and knew exactly what I was looking for. There is no doubt that this Gremlins character is iconic and beloved by many fans of the edgy Christmas film. So how could so many people be misremembering his name?
Spike, 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 Spike. So there's a lot of people remembering him as Spike.
And what does that mean for the scene where he is named in the movie?
Hey, look at that one's got a cute little stripe on its head.
Let me know what you remember the name being down in the comments below. The next two Mandela Effects has us looking at the film Scary Movie 1 and its sequel. The first being the scene where Marlon Wayans says, "I see white people." At least, that is what people recall him saying.
I see white people.
Now the line is, "I see people," repeating the line from the film Sixth Sense, making people ask, what is the joke exactly?
I remember clear as day that he says, "I see white people." I haven't seen the movie in a while, but I'm 110% sure it was white people. Silly Wayans brothers. Whoa, they f***ing said white people. I know, man, because my partner is black. Her and her son remember it being white people. I also remember it. It was a funny thing between us as a sort of a family at the time. I know this one, man. What the f***? Marlon Wayans? Clenching a sheet or something up to his chin? Definitely said, "I see white people."
I see people.
How is it funny to just repeat a line from another horror film, especially when he is in a room with all white people? When searching online, you can find this newspaper article showing Marlon Wayans being quoted from the movie. But with a closer look, someone has accidentally placed Shawn Wayans' name as being cited with Marlon Wayans' picture, meaning this image is more than likely photoshopped and someone got the Wayans brothers mixed up. People have also tried to reach out to Marlon on social media asking what was originally said.
Marlon, have you heard of the Mandela Effect from Scary Movie? Please tell what you remember saying. I see white people or I see people. This is blowing my mind.
We may not be able to ask him because he could have been f***ed in the time loop or whatever. I know pop culture, I see white people is a real line, but where did it come from? Have we all just been mistaken? Ask Marlon, who came up with the I see white people line?
Undercover brother.
I see white people.
Tell me down below if you remember the I see white people joke being in the film. The next Mandela Effect is one I have experienced. My friends and I would quote this scene when joking around with one another. In Scary Movie 2, Chris Elliott plays a character with a small mutilated hand that is the focus of many gags. One of these scenes, a person is hanging off a light outside of a window when he offers them help by saying what line? Many people, including myself, remember him saying, "Take my strong hand," but this is not what he says at all.
Here, oh, take my hand. Ah!
There are many memes showing the line being said.
I thought the character didn't really acknowledge that his hand was small, always referring to it as his strong hand. Hence the joke, as if he was willfully unaware of it being small. I could be wrong though.
That makes more sense with a comedic perspective.
This one truly blows my mind. Please let me know down below what you remember him saying. This update takes us back to the 3rd episode, where I discussed Launchpad McQuack being in the Disney cartoon Tailspin.
I was a big Tailspin fan, and Launchpad McQuack was never in the show.
When it was brought to my attention that I had misspelled Tailspin when doing the chapters for the video, I realized I was not the only one that believed the title of the show to have tail instead of tail. This would make sense, being that the show had animals as pilots.
Launchpad was never on Tailspin, which I actually thought was Tailspin, so would have found that to be a more believable Mandela Effect. Baloo was the pilot, why would they need Launchpad? Someone is jumbling up their Disney afternoon.
Did you also think the title of the show was spelled Tailspin? Also, if you made it this far, I want to say thank you. I make these videos by myself and they take a lot of time, so I do appreciate you watching, and if you are not subscribed, please hang out more often by clicking that red subscribe button for future content.
Now back to the show. Mandela effects are boring and seems to all happen just in the USA. Show me a Mandela effect from Latin America or Asia, and I will believe in it.
The final Mandela Effect is the first international one. If you are unfamiliar with the story of Hachiko, it's a story about a man and his dog, a lot like Turner and Hooch, and possibly the first man's best friend story.
Man's best friend.
He would walk to the train station with his master and wait for him to return from work. Even after his master's death, he would continue going to the train station another 9 years, 9 months, and 15 days until passing away himself. The dog's loyalty was immortalized in bronze outside Shibuya Station in 1934. This Mandela Effect deals with the Hachiko dog statue in Shibuya, Japan, and is brought to us in the comments by Tara Ito.
The Hachiko statue in Shibuya now has a dog harness, Mandela Effect.
When looking at the statue, it does appear to have a harness, but there are many images with Hachiko wearing a collar and a harness, and there is also this image that may have inspired the statue that shows him wearing a collar. Could this be residue? The difficulty with doing research is that there have been 2 statues, and I don't know which one is the original made in 1934 or the one that was made in 1948. There is also this statue from 2015 that shows him with his master and wearing a harness. So is it possible that the first statue had a collar? And in the Japanese film from 1987, we see the dog wearing a harness, but not in the 2004 American version. I would love to know what you think about this Mandela Effect, and thank you, Tara Ito, for sharing this with the channel. And of course, thank you for watching, and don't forget to send that like button to an alternate universe and let me know down below if any of these Mandela effects made you question your reality, and could we be living in a simulation?